to go. Yes, we're not going to be kicked from the lobby. And we are away. Looks like Darren has got the better start at the front too. Morgan is moving to the left to cover off SLR Fempest. As SLR Fempest touches the back of him and looks to have gone on wide a bit. Yes, he has. He's completely off track as the Mercedes driver.
Hasn't got damage.
As look at this, it's 3 wide as I think Fempest has touched his teammate there. Hopefully he's not got a time penalty.
Virtual safety car.
Yeah, he's got a 5-second penalty and a virtual safety car has been deployed.
Kind of
so yeah, it was kind of honours even at the front. Honours even at the front. Yeah. Say again?
Well, kind of surprised that a virtual safety car is out. I mean, there's some debris on the track, but I think normally the game wouldn't give, as we see more collisions under the virtual safety car, which is not great.
Why is there 5 people with 5-second penalties? Just, come on guys, it's not hard to avoid people under a VSC, is it? As we are now green flag racing, and we are away again. SLR Fempest is trying to get on with it from his bad start. He's dropped P6 and has a 5-second penalty. As Hicklin said that he was eating, which is why he didn't go off the line immediately. Okay.
Is that a 10-second time penalty for eating under the formation? Stop and go penalty.
But yes, SLR Fempest, he's kind of going to be up against it, but I don't think he's got damage. He looks to still have decent pace. I wonder whether Jack's got damage, actually, as he's really struggling. He does. He does. The Ferrari driver is in the pits.
So Jack, I think Fempest hit the back of Morgan, and then Jack on the inside got just collected by Fempest, who's lucky to get away with damage here, because they both
as Alfie's in the pits, Jack in the pits, Halo in the pits, Men's in the pits, just
all damage probably.
Multiple people in the pits, and well. Further down I think Owen is trying to shape up something on Hicklin. The timings are all over the place, all over the place. It's yes, of course, Owen started off with dead cold tyres, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. It's eliminated 5 people from this race pretty much from the spot on the spot, and they kind of need a safety car to get back into it. As Barlow's having a move on Morgan, maybe. I know the two of them are friends, so perhaps Morgan knows Barlow's going to be quicker at this stage of the race, as Barlow moves himself up into P2. Morgan, I think, has got to play the long game here on his mediums.
Yeah, Sepp is trying to catch up to the pack in front of him. Obviously, I think DRS isn't able, so the next time they'll come on the back straight, they'll get DRS, which would lose Fempest a massive amount of time. So he'll try to catch up before the beginning of Sector 2, where the DRS detection point is.
Yeah, of course, if these guys start fighting, that makes his job 10 times easier to catch up.
I think the timing is still a bit off for me, because only the top 4 drivers are.
Yeah, they are
fixing now, I think.
It's fixing bit by bit.
Fempest is the fastest lap there.
Yes, Fempest doesn't certainly look like the fastest driver on track at the moment, as Drastic Blaze has gone in for the pits. So I wonder whether he's got damage as well.
Yeah, it's a nose change.
As here it's Legend versus Bunny versus Owen. It looks like Legend is very slow. I wonder whether he's got damage himself. And that means that Bunny and Owen are pounding him.
Left wing end plate.
Yeah.
So, just a quick update. They're gonna play again. Finland against Denmark. They're gonna play again, and I think... Well, I'm not sure if I should say this, but I think that's a disgrace, really. I don't know, if they...
Oh, there's a yellow flag and Fempest has gone.
Oh no.
Fempest has gone, he's hit the wall, he's lost his wing, and there's a safety car. There's a full course safety car.
Well, that gives us time.
As Fempest has lost his wing.
That gives us time to talk about Denmark v Finland.
Yes. I mean, Fempest it's a saving grace for him.
Yeah. Is his full wing gone? Seems like
he's got 0 wing. 0 wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that will mean that I think everyone besides Morgan and Evo will come to the pit lane. I'm currently on board with Morgan, seeing up ahead that
It depends. They might just try and.
they are coming. Yeah, they are coming.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Obviously, Evo stays out.
Morgan's in as well.
Yeah, Evo stays out.
Why is Morgan in?
Good question.
He's on a set of mediums. I guess because so many people are pitting. Although Bunny is staying out, so.
It's going to be such a long stop for
one.
Tempest. Oh, you
Tempest
retired?
is retired in the pit.
Why would you retire? It's not the way you want to see, really.
I think I did hear that he was maybe. I don't know what exactly, but. Like. Carrying some kind of injury or
Yeah,
something.
he couldn't race yesterday because I think he got hit by a buck or something. I think Keane said that.
Yeah, so maybe that's partly to do with why he made his mistake or something, and he's choosing to retire just because of that. But yeah, what this does do is this completely flips the grid on its head. These guys don't really have that much fresher mediums than people like Owen, Hicklin, Evo. And suddenly Owen, Evo, Hicklin, Bunny are P1, P2, P3 and P4. If I'm Morgan, I would have surely stayed out because, well, he's on the set of He's on a set of mediums now, and he's going to have to go to the softs when he does pit again. But yeah, so it's been a pretty weird one, but yes.
So yeah, just quick information: the Denmark team just sent a tweet out to the world saying that Christian is awake and his condition remains stable. He remains hospitalized at a certain hospital in Copenhagen. So the match will be resumed at 20:30, 8:30. I think that's for you guys. 7:30.
If it's 20:30 your time, then
your
that'll
time.
be in 20. In 20 minutes time that'll be.
So, really, probably doesn't really matter what my view on that is, but I think if the players decided on that they want to play for him, maybe as well, then I'd stay. I'm fully up for that if they want to play. But if they wouldn't want to play, then I'd.
It should really be down to them. It should really be down to the Denmark team,
exactly,
of course, about what they want to do.
Exactly, and I think if they decided as a group that they want to play for Christian and for the country of Denmark, then I fully support that.
Yes, exactly. Of course, the whole world is behind the country of Denmark in what has happened. There was great scenes of the Danish fans and the Finnish fans chanting together, cheering together, and yeah, just showing their support together, just putting their differences aside, because of course there is going to be that competitiveness. The two countries in Scandinavia area, like, they are certainly going to want to have a bit of bragging rights, of course. Similar way to maybe England and Scotland, for example. But yes, aside their differences, I guess you could say, for the greater good of someone's personal health. It's of course great to see. So yeah, let's actually about this race. Let's get up the position changes because this is kind of funny. Evo up 10, Bunny up 13, Owen up 14, Hicklin up 9. Everyone else down as they've obviously made stops, but yeah. I think it's a huge opportunity for someone like Evo because Bunny on his softs is going to be quite slow behind him, I'd have thought, and could potentially cause him to get a bit of a lead. He could potentially be in a really strong position here as he's back in the field up. I've noticed the safety car gets released very, very late here.
Well, that doesn't...
No, very, very early. Sorry. Very, very early.
I think...
That's what I meant.
Yeah, well, personally, for a driver, You want the safety car to be like rather more early than super late, like in Brazil, I think, and in Japan in Div 1. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. Drivers can just prepare, and I think Evo's already gone actually. There's that's a 1.3 gap to Bunny. Evo's more
yes.
weight there. Ooh! Bunny gets a
little bit of twitch on. So I'm going to go on board with Owen, as Owen is going to want to get past Bunny as quickly as he possibly can. To try and chase after Evo.
Medium should be fast at this moment, so...
Yeah, exactly. Bunny runs a little wide, but... Yeah, so it's all about patience, really. Hicklin's causing a bit of a buffer to cars behind at the moment, so... Just needs to make this move as quickly as he can. Bunny loses the back end again, as now we're going to go on board with Darren. As look at this, Darren and Barlow going to maybe go at it.
Barlow's got to overtake Darren here, I think.
Barlow's got the slipstream on Hicklin here.
Barlow stopped using his overtake, that's...
Yeah, he's backed out of it, he's playing the long game here.
Owen is past Bunny though.
But yes, that is a crucial move there from Owen. And a crucial move from Darren to get past Hicklin as well. But Hicklin's trying to tuck in, he's maybe thinking about a move himself. No, he thinks better of it. And Barlow has to tuck in behind him.
Probably trying to be stuck this entire third sector behind Hicklin. And Barlow seems so much faster. As we might see a move from Barlow down the inside.
Yeah, he thinks about it. He's got such better traction on these tyres. And yeah, Hicklin's really struggling. And Zach and Morgan are going at it. And OG James 96 is thinking about a move on Zach. Oh, they make slight contact, but it's all fair here. And Zach Beast keeps the position. As Barlow, oh, he sent it up the inside of Hicklin, and that's going to help out Morgan.
Sure, thank you very much.
Barlow has got the position. Yep, exactly. And now on Darren watch, I guess, as Darren...
Beast and Hicklin go side by side.
Oh my god. Oh, Beast has hit the back of him. Has he got...
Oh, and James.
OG James has got damage. Hit the back of him as well.
Did he really? Oh.
This is absolute chaos as... Yeah, Hicklin is just causing such a massive train here.
Look at the top 7 to 13, 14. Just 7, 8 people. These drivers just going through gaps everywhere.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. I've just seen Darren has got a move on Bunny. I think that should be a really straightforward one. But Zach is busy trying to do the up and under on Hicklin. That is a beautiful camera shot I've got there, the overhead. As he's sweeping around the outside. OG James, of course, has his damage and he's going to try and get involved as JD Menz has just had a little bit of a spin. Zach is trying to hold it. Oh, as Hicklin has been spun. Ooh. Hicklin putting up a resolute defence, but everyone else behind, I think, will be kind of breathing a bit of a sigh of relief, it must be said, as they no longer have to navigate a car that's obviously on much older tyres. And yeah, as Jack's found himself in P9 despite having that lap 1 damage, so relatively decent job so far from the Ferrari driver. As Evo's got some great pace here. I thought Owen would be looking quite good here, as has a little bit of practice with him earlier, and he looked like he could set some pretty solid lap times. I believe he set a lap time in practice, a couple of lap times that would have been good enough for pole, just of course had his quali ban.
Yeah, Evo's putting about 2 times, 3 times every lap on him. So.
Yeah. And Darren's not coming at them as quickly as I thought he would.
He's got the fresher medias out of all of them. So.
But here we are. There is another train. Jack, James, Alfie. Alfie's going to try it down the inside of Jack, is he? What a double move is Alfie. He's going to try the switchback on Jack. Jack gets compromised. And Alfie's made the move.
And James will probably go for a move with Alfie as well, will he?
Oh, Legend's there as well.
Oh, James.
Oh, James has spun.
Legend. I mean, we're 8 laps in. I'm not sure if I can handle this.
This is carnage. This is Division 2, folks. This is Division 2. That's now Owen. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that he was beginning to close in on Evo. I think there's a reason for that. He's just picked up a time penalty. But as Morgan picks up one himself, as Bunny is now coming to the pits, but yeah, Darren is now closing in on Owen, and Owen is closing in a bit on Evo, so potentially be a three-way fight for the win coming up. As Barlow and Morgan have been a bit detached, they are on fresher tyres than Owen and Evo, but took a little bit longer than the rest to get past SLR Bunny.
You see Darren going for a move on Owen here down the inside.
Yep. Here we go. Don't think Owen's using too much of his battery, I think.
Very easy.
Owen could potentially come back on the next straight, I think. Would be a good place for Owen to make a move. It is that double DRS.
No, he's not using
No, he's just going to tuck in behind Darren. Oh, he's using a bit of an overtake, so he's going to maybe have a go. He's got quite a lot of overspeed here. Is he going to try the move? No, he's not. I think that's a smart move from Owen. He'd lose too much time battling Darren, and Darren is on much fresher tyres. Oh, it's yellow flag Evo. That's Evo.
Oh no.
Evo went off. Evo has dropped to P3. That is potentially a really costly error for the Mercedes driver, as Evo was sitting at P1 ahead of Owen and Darren. But yeah, just a lapse of concentration, and that is him round. I think you know that corner. I think that corner is becoming quite synonymous with Mercedes drivers spinning this weekend, it must be said.
I mean, it went well for like 22 laps. Now after 22 laps, I don't know. Just we're not going to talk about it actually. Let me just shut up there.
I had to. I thought
I know. I still finished ahead of you, so that's great.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. But yes. After that chaos, it's kind of a weird one. The field is beginning to get spaced out slightly. I mean, like, there's just over a second between P1 and P2, P2 and P3, P3 and P4, P4 and P5, and so on. And really the closest battle is that for P7. Alfie is currently the driver in P7, but LSW Legend 44 is close and behind. Could potentially try and move on Alfie on his fresher tyres. I think he's waiting for the second batch of DRS. He looked like he could have tried a move, but instead chose to back out of it. As has Darren made a bit of a mistake here, because Owen is suddenly half a second behind him. As Legend does make it past. Oh, Alfie brakes quite late and goes straight on. Owen did say that Alfie maybe had some kind of pedal issues, and I wonder whether that's showing.
Yeah, he slowed up enough there. He almost runs into the back of Legends. He slowed up enough there, I think, to prevent him from getting a warning, or she get on board. Well, he did not get a warning there. Smart man.
Yeah, but yeah, these guys, they're 5 or so seconds off the top 6, and the top 6 is relatively close together. Darren's not pulling away like the way I thought he would from Owen, and
no, it's a strange
he's got a bit more ERS.
Yeah, it's a strange one, because Darren did get out of the 1 second gap to Owen in the first few corners, pretty much after you overtook him, but then Owen kind of came back on him. Obviously Darren on the fresher medium, so you'd say gets out of that DRS range, as he now is, but I think Owen is going to get saved by some DRS as he is, so Owen will probably try.
Of course he has the double help in it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the double help in it as well.
Exactly, so we'll probably just try saying that DRS until he pits.
Yeah, I think these guys they're quite comfortable. They're not really exerting themselves too much, and they're just keeping a comfortable gap to the cars behind them. As Morgan has now closed up to Evo, but he has hardly any ERS whatsoever.
Legends and Alfie going side by side again.
Again.
Oh, this could end up in tears.
Yes, I'm looking at it on board with Jack. They're giving each other room.
Oh, it's gonna end up in... Is that the second time damage check? I don't hope it is. It's not.
He's escaped
It's
it,
not. No,
and he's managed to sneak his way through Legend. And Legend, I don't know whether he deliberately let them through for some reason, or he's just backed out of it. But yeah, as Owens has suddenly lost 2 seconds to Darren. I think Owens had a bit of an off actually.
Yeah, the slow third sector. So he must have made a mistake in the third sector somewhere. Probably in the after the DRS straight.
Yeah, and that's showing just how important that DRS was for him, as he's just losing time every single corner now. And Evo and Morgan, this invites them quite nicely. As Zach and Barlow might have their own little fight themselves. Probably use each other to help each other, I think, get up to the back of Owen, because, well, Barlow's just outside the DRS
Yellow.
range. He's just got it now as
Virtual
Jading
safety
Benz
car.
has crashed. Yes, there is a VSC. It shouldn't be lasting too long enough to be able to give these guys a bit of a free pit stop.
No, I think
but
yesterday in a Division 1 race, it happened in the first sector, and the guys came like 2 to 3 corners from the pit lane when the VC ended. So it might just get them in the pit lane, but it'll probably come in as soon as
It's
I...
just
Oh,
come
it's
in now,
coming
actually.
already. Well, there we go. That's my point just done. See if anyone loses out a bit there. Yeah, Evo lost out a bit to Owen, because he's like 6-7 tenths, and now he's lost 4 tenths there.
yeah, lost that DRS, and that.
Yeah.
Well, that tenth or two is worth so much around this track, and yeah, that's going to invite Morgan, I think.
It'd be interesting to see at what point these drivers pit, whether they go for the 1-stop or 2-stop. Obviously, mediums could go like 12-13 laps if you do the 2-stop.
Darren, of course, it's worth pointing out, used quite a lot of life on his mediums, and Morgan isn't actually going to be able to go onto a set of mediums, so...
No, Morgan needs to go to softs really in the last end.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
He's gonna have to go at least 5 more laps. Depends really on
I think probably lap
freshness.
19 is probably really a good lap for him to pit onto the softs.
Yeah, it depends really on...
Especially if he's got a worn set.
Yeah, exactly, and it depends also on whether the set is fresh or it's been used in qualifying.
Exactly.
Morgan is closing down on
So now
Evo
Morgan,
here.
yeah, he really wants to get past him, I think. And Zach is maybe wanting to get past Barlow as well. You can see
him move here
I'm
from
pretty sure
Morgan.
he'd just be able to see P2.
And I see him move here from Morgan, I think.
Yes, around the outside. Evo's got a bit more battery than him, and I think he's not electing to use it. I think he's just tucking in. Sensible driving there from Evo as Zach's beast is up the inside of Barlow. And Barlow doesn't choose to try and continue that battle. But yeah, that was a relatively clean move from Morgan, and I get the sense that Evo, he's got his battery, and he's got that battery for a reason. He just wants to try and stay within the DRS, I think, of these guys, and maybe come back later on in the race, or use the battery later on in the race for that when that set of softs comes on. As yes, now Zach and Barlow are properly in this train, I think. Barlow's right on the edge, but he's got 70% ERS. Use some ERS, man. Get in that DRS. I am slightly perplexed about why Barlow is not using that ERS to get in the DRS at this train, because it's gained him so much time, make it so much easier to save ERS and keep it high.
Exactly, yeah. That's probably his plan here as well. Just trying to tuck
He
in.
stopped using it midway through the straight, but yeah, he looks quite comfortable though, and yeah, it's kind of settled down a little bit after Alfie and Legend
It
went side by
has,
side for
yeah.
like every single corner. As expected, Evo's extra ERS on Morgan just gives him a lot more straight line speed and allows him to stay with the Racing Point driver very, very nicely. Zach's Beast looks to have some mega pace, though, it must be said. Zach's Beast is potentially a good shout for P2 here, I think. If he keeps up without any penalties.
Yeah.
As Barlow's dropped off massively. He must have made a mistake, and luckily he has that extra ERS to be able to try and catch back up, but
And Morgan is fighting the
pushing
car
very hard.
for the first sector, just getting that DRS range from Owen. It's not working for him. He needs to find another 210s.
yeah, he's absolutely shredding his tyres by the looks of it as well, and yeah. Well, Owen, he's dropped off quite a bit from Darren, of course,
Darren
on
shouldn't
his
be
tyres,
pissed.
but drivers like Morgan, drivers like Zach, drivers like Barlow, they're now kind of getting in a bit of pain range with their tyres as well, as Morgan loses the back end yet again.
I think that's going to cost
That
him
one
his
might have lost him
DRS.
DRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one might have lost him DRS, I
Yes.
think. And yeah, Evo, well, if Evo wants to, he can get past Morgan quite easily here, I should think. Because Morgan's DRS light is flashing, and he might even lose DRS to Owen on the next straight as well. But Evo's looking behind him rather than ahead, as Zach's Beast is very, very racy here.
I think Owen made another mistake there. Small.
Yeah, Owen's tyres are very much worse for wear.
That maybe
said.
that maybe is the reason of why Evo's not going for a move. The tyres will be dropping off at this point. They're just going to be screaming for the next few laps.
Oh, as I was on board with Morgan, and you could see that corner cut come from an absolute mile off. He's picked up his second penalty of the race, and yeah, that's just another thing these drivers are going to keep an eye out on. Evo, Zach are managing this very, very well with their penalties, but Morgan and Owen are struggling a bit, evidently.
Beast want to go down the inside of Evo there. Wasn't going to be a smart move, but
Yeah, he's got so much grip. It
Yeah.
looks like Evo's kind of hitting the cliff on his tyres, it must be said. As he locks up into the final corner. That's just going to add more pain to the tyres, as Barlow's gone into the pits now. I like this from Barlow, actually. If he puts on a set of mediums, then that is a great shot from Barlow, actually.
yeah, they've gone for mediums.
Did he just get held for like 10 seconds there?
I think that's a in-game glitch. It's just a visual glitch, I think. Because he's P10 now, so I don't think he has.
I'll check his gap to leader, because it should be about... It should be about 25... No, he did! He did! That wasn't a visual glitch. Why's that happened then? That is a bizarre glitch, and it's
Really?
put him completely out of this race.
Oh wow. He's 34 seconds behind the lead. Well, how
Yeah,
far
that
was he
is-
behind the lead?
that's
then?
pretty much-
Or like 10 seconds?
He was about... Oh, maybe.
He lost 20 seconds in the pit lane. Then someone on the exit maybe.
He's lost 20... He's lost 27 seconds to... He's 27 seconds behind Owen, and he was about 3 seconds behind him. And the pit lane should only lose you about 21 seconds around this track. So
But
I think
is
he's lost
that-
about 5 or so seconds extra.
Is that pit lane with the pit exit calculating that
I think
as
it
well?
is. I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. I think he has lost out a bit, but he's going to be flying on these tyres, so hopefully he can recover. I was surprised not more of these people have considered pitting. If I'm Zach, I see this train. I see I'm quicker than it. I try and go on another set of mediums.
Yeah, but if he went for softer, then he's got no new set. Depends really
That is
on
true.
some decisions the drivers made even before qualifying and before thinking about the race really.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, taking softs 10 laps versus taking mediums 10 laps. Softs are overall quicker. Because no, mediums are overall quicker because they just die, the softs, after about 5 laps. But, of course, that extra bit of life initially
Yeah,
does make quite a difference, isn't it?
Holland's last sector, then now his first sector again, were just seconds faster than his previous best sector times. So these mediums are flying now. I think the drives up ahead will be
As
aware of
Evo's
that.
now flying, he's decided to use his ERS on Morgan. I get the sense Evo's maybe thinking about making a pit stop anytime soon.
Darren's
As I actually told Owen, lap 17 is the lap he wants to pit, so as Zach's Beast picks up a penalty. So, yeah, I think we could see Owen and Evo maybe think about making a pit stop here this lap. Darren might have to think about it as well. Now Darren's staying out.
Surely these drivers
Well,
are
Owen, is he going to pull the trigger? Is he going to pull the trigger here? No, he is going to stay out.
Oh, he's listening
and
to
so's
them.
Evo.
Surprised by that, really.
And none of them are pitting.
Alfie's coming
None of them
in.
at all.
Yeah, Alfie's coming in.
Alfie is. Okay, maybe that's why Owen didn't pit, because give his teammate an advantage.
Yeah, Barlow's going to get a massive undercut here, so...
Yeah. But Barlow, like, I'm pretty sure he did lose time, though, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that if Barlow didn't have that time loss, and
There you go, so fast as that.
Then he'd be ahead of this train and maybe even troubling Darren when Darren comes in for a stop. But yeah, I just think that these guys, they're just... Especially the guys who maybe have two sets of mediums are hanging themselves out to dry a little bit.
Oh,
something happened?
Picked up Barlow's just picked up a penalty the moment I was watching his race directly. His last lap is 3 seconds faster than Owen's.
Yeah, that is mental.
He's right now, he's about, what is that? He's about 21 seconds behind Owen. So he's right up there with him. Owen is probably going to go for a set of softs, so he's going to be faster than Barlow, but if this goes on for a lap longer than it should be for Owen, he's going to hang out to dry.
Yeah, I guess the undercut's worth a bit, but so is fresh tyres, so...
Really, yeah.
Probably valuing that a bit, these drivers, I think. Yeah, I just am genuinely surprised that everyone in the train's going to probably do the same strategy here. As Darren, he's staying out yet again. I guess he is comfortable here, and maybe is thinking if he stretches this out long enough, then he can maybe think about going for fastest lap. As Owen is now pitting.
Evo
He's the first driver of this lot to pit. None of the others are. None of them at all. But now Zach's Beast is going to try and move on Morgan. He's got no ERS. Morgan goes defensive, but Zach has to slot in behind.
And
as let's look at Barlow.
yeah,
How well has he managed to perform this undercut? I think he's still going to get out ahead of Owen.
yeah, he is. Just about.
Only just, though. And Owen's fresh soft this lap.
Oh, we'll probably
It's gonna make
overtake him on
Barlow
the
easy
DRS
pickings.
trade.
Yeah. But yeah, Barlow really should be a good 5 or 6 seconds ahead of this, but the game's kind of shafted him a bit. But yeah, Zach and Morgan. Zach around the outside. Morgan tries to stick it up the inside. I don't know why he's doing that. The gap was never there. They're going to go at it, and this is the absolute worst lap to battle. This is the lap you're coming into pit, guys. Side by side, but just they're losing each other so much.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
they cut across the other. Oh. Morgan left Zach. I'm sorry, Morgan left Zach. Absolutely no room there whatsoever. And yeah, they just come a cropper, and yeah.
Well, I think I can tell you who's gonna come out, either Evo or Owen. I think it's gonna be Owen. Or Owen's gonna come out ahead of Beast and Morgan, I'll tell you that much.
Well, that's certain. And now Darren is pitting for what I presume can only be a set of softs. Evo's coming in. Morgan's got a time penalty for corner cutting. And Zach's Beast got a 5-second penalty for hitting Morgan, so he's going to have to serve that in the pits. And look at that from Evo. He's going to be held up by these two cars as well, so he's lost even more time to Owen. Owen is easily in P2, and Darren, well, Darren's obviously easily in P1. That goes without saying, I think. But yeah, look at that, and now Barlow's got a massive lead to P4 on his mediums, and they are going to be aging a bit, but the softs are going to die as well, so the battle for the podium is going to be well and truly alive, and I think it's really between Barlow and Evo, it must be said. Has Alfie pit again, so I can only assume he got damage. But here Morgan's made a move on Legend. and Zach is beast. Well, from running in potentially, well, P4, P5 position, Zach is beast. He's dropped down to 10th with that 5-second penalty.
Small drive and starting.
As Morgan's gone at the inside,
Whoa.
Drastic Blaze. Oh, he goes very, very deep. But he does get the position, even though he went completely off track to get it.
Oh, in normal one. Michael Massey, the race director, is going to tell you to get that position back, but
Yeah.
this game does not have a Michael Massey, so.
Yes. As yeah, I'll tell you what this race could do with.
A safety car?
Exactly.
I think every race you could do with a safety car, but... well, Darren wants it, I don't think so, he wants it.
Well, Darren hasn't got any penalties,
no, he
so...
should be fine.
And has fresh tyres, he's pretty much just cruising in P1, like... I don't think anything's going to prevent him from winning, if I'm being honest.
Well,
Commentator's curse maybe,
I was
but...
about to say, thank you very much, Sam. He's probably going to be the driver who's going to cause a safety car now.
As LSW Legends may be thinking about making a move on Drastic Blaze. Blaze is trying to hold it around the outside, and yeah, it's not worked, and Legends taking the position. But Blaze has got a fantastic exit. These two are on the same age tyres. This is for position, and this is gonna go until the end of the race. But Legend is gonna keep that position. Blaze, yeah, you can see he's absolutely hounding him. He's trying to make a move, but just can't. And I'm surprised that Evo hasn't closed in more on Barlow than he has.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but the moment I wanted to say that, as I think that's going over Evo, the moment I wanted to say that, he was closing in quite a bit. I think especially the third sector is going to be the main area when you're going to catch up time on Barlow.
I think Barlow's really, he's just got to get through these few laps of pain where these softs are going to be a lot quicker than him. And then when it comes to the next couple of laps, he's going to surely be in the pound seat to take that podium position. As Legend and Drastic Blaze, there's quite a train behind them now. Goes all the way down to Zach's Beast. But they're battling it out, Legend and Blaze. They do make slight contact. And Blaze keeps the position. This opens up Leah. This opens up Jack and Zach. Jack and Zach are swapping positions between the two Ferrari drivers. As Legend has picked up another time penalty. But I was also looking at the gap between Evo and Barlow myself, and
well, I mean,
it goes up by about 3 or 4 tenths in the first sector. Then it goes down by an entire second in the last sector.
Yeah,
it's
more than a second.
really bizarre.
So the third sector, Barlow is 1.1 seconds slower than than Evo. So with that in Evo's mind,
I think it's probably only a matter of time.
I mean, at some lap,
Evo's
soft tires will be slower, but I don't think that will happen until lap 28. So Barlow's got to hang on for dear life here to keep on the podium here. Not sure about penalties either.
As have Blaze and Legend. Because they have a charging Leah, they have a charging Zach, they have a charging Jack behind them, but just this trade is just allowing them to stay ahead, and I think they did make the smart choice with that undercut, and it's showing.
Oh wow. SLR Liam just sent something in their sports chat from Fabrizio Romano. And I think he's quite well, I'm not sure about the English word, but he's quite always on the left. We have a move on track. So just to finish
bits of contact.
Just to finish my sentence, apparently Christian Eriksen had a FaceTime call with his teammates from the hospital, and he asked the Danish players. He asked the Danish players to play the game for him as he feels better now. So that's absolutely great to hear for both Denmark and himself. Just hope to see him on the pitch soon. Really, is that something you can hope for?
I'm not sure. I feel like they probably just say that he's kind of got to sideline the tournament. I think it probably makes sense for him to miss the rest of the tournament.
I think it doesn't really matter. He doesn't really care about this tournament. I don't think Denmark does care about him either playing in this tournament. They just want a fully recovered Christian Eriksen. Whether he can play this tournament or not, I just hope so much he can. He can play.
Yeah, 100%.
Can continue his career at Inter Milan.
As back to the race, and well, Darren is an absolute postcode ahead of anyone, but Barlow and Evo here, this is hotting up very nicely. Evo's got to within the DRS, and he's got a bit more ERS than Barlow as well. So these two could go at it for P3 here. Barlow, I think, did definitely make the right decision in pitting when he did onto those medium tyres, but is it going to bite him?
Well, to add on that, I think Evo made the wrong decision by going another lap. As Alvy's now retired on track, that is. Oh, that's literally retired on track. That's literally retired, as in press the retire button, and there we go. I think this is Carlos driving. Luckily, it hasn't brought out a safety car thing. Oh, that's not. Wow, what's that about?
Yeah, luckily it hasn't affected the drivers behind him as well.
So not one. But no, Evo probably made the wrong decision. He was in 2 seconds of Owen, and now he's 4.8 seconds. Barlow's 4.8 seconds behind him. Bunny and James.
Yeah.
James is around.
So
again.
Evo's about 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, James around again.
Yeah, I think Evo did get held by about a second or so
as well,
in the pits by, of course, by Zach and Morgan, I think it was. But yeah, I wonder whether Evo's just maybe going to wait until the final lap. And would this be a wise move from him to wait until the final lap? His tyres aren't going to thank him for it. As Lear and Blaze.
No, I don't think it would be a wise decision. As look at how many times he's losing out to Barlow, so he's...
Or as he picks up a penalty.
Did he really?
That's another penalty.
Well, in that case, I think he's got less penalties than Barlow from what I've seen, so in that case, just send it the back straight.
Send it and try and get that 3 seconds.
Exactly. I think it could be possible, but... So I hope
Darren... he's got a lot of ERS to do it.
He's not going to lose out his AI coming out of the pit lane. Oh god. That was close.
I think it does ghost, because ghosting is on this division. I do think that those AIs do ghost, so should be fine for him.
There's a ride on the back of Barlow. So.
Yeah. Oh, the car's pulled off for Owen. I've just had a look, and we're all good.
It's actually so. I find it quite scary going through turns 2 and 3 in dirty air on like 5, 6, 7 level. As we have another retirement in the pit lane. As we have a racing point round in Morgan, I think. Yeah, Morgan's around there.
Oh, is Morgan gone?
Oh,
he has. Yes, and Drastic Blaze is right by him. And yeah, can Blaze maybe have a go here on the straight? It's all about the exit. Does it help out Blaze nicely? It's a car between him and Jack. Ooh, and yeah, Blaze is going to have a go. How does Morgan choose to defend this? Looks like that's the back of Blaze. Oh, he's just allowed Jack to get past himself, and yeah, Morgan is just losing positions hand over fist here. As we said, he's just dropped back to P9 now.
Oh!
As LSW Legend's going to move. And Legend, he's tried it on Jack as well. Oh, what is going on?
And Evo's still behind Barlow. That's either really incredible work from Barlow defending, or Evo's just biting his tie, but I think that's the last thing he should do. Unless Barlow's got 6 seconds of time penalty as well, we won't check that.
I think maybe we should, because no, actually no, we won't. That's not. Because if Evo has more penalties, then this battle's just completely dead. But it might not be. So here we are on board with Evo. He looks like he maybe wants to try and move now. He's all over the back of the AlphaTauri driver. But he just had such a bad exit as Morgan has left the session. I don't know whether that's a rage quit or whether that's a disconnection.
There we go. Down the inside.
Yes, Evo is now coming.
Nothing Barlow could really do. Try to set the car up for a good exit, as he has got one, but Evo's got more DRS. I think Evo will be safe here. Both lights will be flashing. He's turned off his overtake, so Evo's going to push for 2 laps now. Well, a lap and a half really, as we've ended sector 2 now. Evo's going to push as much as he can, just maybe to get another 3 seconds in case that he's got more time penalties than Barlow. It seems like he's pushing on, so I think he has.
Barlow didn't really seem to fight that too hard,
exactly.
I don't think. So I think he probably knows something about Evo's penalties.
Oh, he's already put a second. That's
yeah, he's already got a second.
It's just that third sector really where Barlow's struggling on these mediums now compared to softs.
Yeah, I mean, it just overheats your tyres so much, and the more life you have in them, the more unstable the tyre compound is.
This could be a really interesting one, 1.2 seconds now.
Yeah, could he do it? I mean,
that'd be incredible.
If he gains another second in the final sector, then he could pull 3 seconds from him and he could get the podium. As Leah has left, I think that's a disconnection from Leah. If possible, try and invite him and invite Morgan.
Don't think it will be in by the time that we caught up on the last lap, but I think Darren is about to cross the line now.
He should be good for P5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Darren is. Darren's in the 3rd sector. We haven't really talked about him much, and there's a simple reason why we haven't talked about him. That is because Darren has pretty much been completely dominant. He's led the race from nearly from start to finish. No one's got near him. And Darren has won in Division 2. I believe that will be his last Division 2 race, but he has rounded off the season with an excellent victory. Owen Howe 36 ends the season with a podium from the back of the field. A remarkable drive from him. And SLR Evo houses penalties. Not good. He's finished behind Barlow. So Barlow gets a podium.
Yeah, I think Leah's got to get a timing glitch here because he's a lap behind Evo. So I wonder if Blaze.
Disconnected car is going to finish in P5. He's just dropped down to P7, but that doesn't look like a timing glitch. That just looks like penalties.
Could be, yeah.
Legend has dropped down all the way to 9th after his pens. Halo's gone up to 8th. Great drive from him. Morgan has finished in P10 as SLR Bunny is just about to round off his race. But yeah, what a drive from Darren.
Normally the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix doesn't really provide any any major battling, but we've seen a lot today. Yeah. So I'll try to get him.
Apparently, Alfie's retire on track. He said that his pedals were failing, and yeah, that's never fun when your equipment dies on you. But yeah, Darren, another note: maximum points for Darren.
With the
who's your driver of the day, though? I mean, who's your driver of the day?
Oh, see,
obviously that early. Obviously, your early safety car did help Owen, but P17 to P2 cannot be scoffed at. For me, though, if I'm being honest, my driver of the day is a bit of an odd one. I'm going to go with SLR Barlow as my driver of the day, personally. Because obviously Barlow, he shut up.
SLR Barlow sweated.
Obviously, Barlow was in the back of the train for P2, elected to pit early for the mediums, and gained masses, even though he got held in the pits for some reason for like 10 seconds or something.
Wing change.
Oh, he had a wing change. Oh, it didn't show the wing change. That was weird. That explains that. I get it. But yeah, even despite the wing change, Barlow managed to use that undercut to great effect to get himself a podium. So that's my personal drive of the day. Beast has said Owen, and of course that is very much hard to argue with as well. Last to P2 in his rather unforeseen last to first challenge. But yes, a great end to the Division 2 season. There was lots of fighting, some fairer than other bits, it must be said, but yes, it's a pretty decent race done under weird circumstances. As we got everyone in the party now. So, how do you want to do the interviews? Okay, fair enough, mate. Thanks for joining me.
Cheers, Baba Tunde. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
Oh, cheers, Dylan.
Starting off with P3, SLR Barlow. Well, qualifying P4 and finishing P3.
I feel pumped.
It sounds unsafe. It sounds on paper like it's a simple race, but
no, far from.
We saw your race. Obviously, you had your wing change. You had that early pit stop. You had the safety car, and you've managed to come through, fight through the pack, and get yourself a podium. First of all, how do you feel? Second of all,
pumped.
Talk us through your race.
Pumped, very pumped. Purely because I actually damaged my wing coming out the pits. Yep, tool. As I was turning the left, put a little bit too much throttle on and just clipped the wall, but only give me just light green damage, so it weren't too bad. Carried on. Obviously, that's the only reason I did lose a couple of paces throughout after the wing, but then, like I say, had to do the other pit stop, go for the 13 laps on the medium in the end, and just hope for the best. Absolute great racing there by the reserve driver and the new driver. We've just got into division Evo. Yeah, can't complain. Absolutely pumped. As soon as he got past me, I knew I just needed to keep that 3 seconds, but just did great defending. Luckily, you got. Sorry about this, but luckily you got another pen for me, mate. So he just took the pressure off.
Yeah, exactly. And did you think a podium was likely at all when you were in the pits with your wing change?
Sam, I don't think a podium's likely every week. If I get top 10, I am happy every week in, week out. I know I'm not one of the top drivers in this division, but I do know I should be in the points every week. That's the standard to set myself. To come out and to end the season on a high at Abu Dhabi, which is not a strong track for me. Yeah, I feel pumped, mate. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Well, you ended the season on 136 points.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that surpasses last season's total.
102 last season. 102. So It really has surpassed it. So onwards for the next season and try and get more again. I doubt it's going to happen because I'm going to wheel.
Yep.
Can I just one quick one?
Can I
just say a hell of a drive there from Darren, not just in quali but in the race, and another one for clowning it in the last race and getting a quali ban to come into P2. Congratulations, Owen. If you beat me to that driver of the day, though, well, nah, you deserve it, bro. You deserve it. Well in. Yes.
Now on to Owen. Well, last last to second. Well, I mean, who'd have thought it? That was a very bizarre race. How do you feel about your podium?
Yes, I mean, I was a bit shocked by it all, as you could probably imagine. I definitely wasn't expecting it. But yeah, it was like lap 4, suddenly the safety car comes out and I'm in P2. And I knew exactly what I wanted to do for the race, so I was over the moon really with everything that's happening. I mean, Darren is just another class. Almost said a bad word there, but I didn't. But yeah, he was on another level today, and fair play to him because yeah, he's absolutely class. Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky with the safety car coming out, but it seemed like there was a load of stuff going on lap 1, and yeah, I just drove my race. It seemed like the undercut worked a lot. It seemed like the other guys started battling a little bit while I was waiting. While I'd already pitted. But yeah, it was good. It was a good race still.
Yep. And as it's the last race as well, yes, your season, you've ended with over 200 points, and you've got second in the championship. So,
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
so how do you feel about how your season's gone as a whole? Do you think there was maybe any chance for the title at all at any point in there? But also, like, how do you feel about?
Yeah, of course.
how the season's been?
Definitely could have. I think there was a stage in the season, especially after my 2 wins, I thought there's a chance here that I could go for it. But then, yeah, it kind of fell apart quite quickly after a couple of incidents earlier on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get some people in so we can do some donuts, but it's a bit hard. Yeah, I definitely could have gone for it, but I mean, Dorsey was just stupidly quick this season, and yeah, fortunately, I guess for me, Rockham, I wasn't able to race the last 2. I mean, it's a shame. Yeah, I want to, if I can, just quickly just say, I mean, I do feel a bit for Alfie today after kind of everything that happened before the race, because of course it's quite personal to him. And then, yeah, and then kind of having all these problems that he was enduring during the race was not good to hear. And yeah, I do feel for him, so I just want to have a little shout out to him. So he drove very well still. It was unfortunate.
A quick shout out just to Denmark. We're all there.
Yes, we got news during qualifying that he is okay. Christian Eriksen is okay and healthy at the hospital. So
Yeah.
that's always good to hear. And now on to P1, and I've also decided to get the champion in for another interview as well. So yeah, but first of all, Darren. Well, obviously we saw your race last night here, and you've certainly had 2 good ones. I'd like to say around this track. P6 there in Division 1 last night, of course, and P1 with no penalties as well tonight. How do you feel?
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. It really, from the moment you kind of took the lead after that safety car, I never really looked in doubt. And yes, look forward to see you racing on Friday nights next season, I'm sure. After some sterling drives in the last few weeks, certainly. And yes, hopefully we have. And also I had another person that I thought I'd get in to the party as well, because I didn't particularly get to speak to him too much after
he's the
he
champ.
secured his title. I thought I'd get in the champion, SLR Fempest. Oh, he's connecting. Oh, that's awkward.
I can hear you
Yeah,
though.
of course.
Don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah,
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Of course we can hear the champ.
Chomping down on his pizza.
Champ.
We might as well just start these topics now.
Very, very graceful. Very graceful.
There's only one. That's left and past.
What do you want to know?
I just wanted to
How
Just-
do you do it?
have a chat about your season and just yeah, obviously not the best end, but just your season overall. Just
Yeah, we'll blame Barlow for today's race. He scared me going into turn 1.
I was waiting for that one. Won't be scared of my face.
Well, Morgan was driving like a granny going into turn 1, and then I see you in the rear view having a little look down the inside, and I just forgot to brake and hit Morgan, who was driving like a granny. And then I spun. I thought, I've had enough of this. I'm hungry. I'm going to get pizza. I'm the champion. I've already won it.
Fair play. Is the pizza up to champions?
yeah, what is the champion's pizza?
Chicago
What is-
Town
what is your
takeaway with
go-to
cheese
pizza?
crust.
There we are. Hear that? If you want to become SLR Division 2 champion, eat Chicago Town pizza. There we are. That's all you need to know.
It's the stuffed crust what's done it.
Yeah, but no. Overall, the season was good. Obviously, I had an absolutely fantastic first 5 races. Was absolutely miles ahead. Everybody was saying, "Move him up, move him up, move him up." Probably should have moved me up. I think the old. I think everybody down there a little bit, but I pleaded to be kept in Division 2, and I think across the overall season, I think I was in the right place. I mean, especially if Craig would have stayed on. I think it might have been that race that we've just had tonight that might have decided it. Me and Craig were, like everybody knows, we were neck and neck the whole way through. And yeah, it was fun. I've actually learnt how to drive in the wet this season compared to last season. I mean, last season I was absolutely diabolical in the dry and the wet. So it just goes to show, put in the work and we'll get quick. Yeah, good season.
Yes,
Why are we doing these
and
donuts?
roll on Division 1 next season.
Let's go over to this bit here.
Division 1 will be entertaining. I'm not looking forward to racing on a Friday after work. We'll see how long that lasts, but yeah.
Right, well the traction
As we
is
now
off,
have some donuts.
so this is going to be fun.
SLR Teddy, despite being barred from the event, has managed to sneak in his car and is taking part in the donuts.
Good on him.
And he's got some wonderfully executed donuts. Clearly been practicing for this while everyone else has been racing.
I don't know if mine are any good. It looks like I'm just turning around on my screen.
I've got pieces to finish for you.
Just pretty
I am
good.
going to love these and leave it.
It's reasonably decent on
Did you not
screen.
send it off?
Yeah, I've turned. I'm off traction now, but it still looks.
I think
that way.
I changed myself to like 11-1 wings or something.
And I've
to-
gone on full overtake and
to-
rich.
Yeah, I think I changed my setup to be really, really good for drifting for my donuts last night. As well, hey,
Only a few of us.
great way
but
to round off the.
that's
great way
about
to
how
round
many
off the
people
season.
finished the race today anyway, so. Yeah, honestly, I was looking at it, I was thinking, I wasn't very happy to be fair. There's only a few laps left of the season, like.
I thought we were doing donuts for the champ then, but it's
I got
not. It's
disqualified. Whoops.
Yep, you kept the rules on.
Oh, I thought
And
I'd
there we
turned them
are.
off.
That is
Hello.
a
What a clown.
great way
I did
to
that
end the
last
season.
season as well.
I think we got a.
Fair play. Well done, Evan. Nice one.
Let's do the drift.
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a perfectly executed 180 there from SLR Barlow. Absolutely world-class driving there from the AlphaTauri driver.
Thank you, sorry. Cut that. Drifting. No, spin.
Yeah.
Teddy is drifting his way up the straight, and yes. Thank you all for watching Division 2, everybody. Thank you all for everyone taking part. I think that's all from me. Rounding off the season. We hope to see you again next season. Season 7 will hopefully be better than ever in SLR. Thank you all for watching, and good night.